Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're about to embark on a journey through time, unearthing the secrets of a truly remarkable coin, the United States 1-cent coin from 1944. What seems like a humble piece of currency could be hiding something far more valuable than you might imagine. If you've ever wondered how a simple penny could possibly be worth more than just 1 cent, you're in for a treat. Stick around until the end to uncover the incredible value of the 1944 US 1-cent coin, a true treasure from the past. To begin our exploration, let's set the stage for the 1944 1-cent coin. The year 1944 was pivotal in the history of the United States. The nation was right in the middle of World War II, and the effects of the war were being felt across the globe. The American economy, which had been deeply impacted by the Great Depression in the 1930s, was beginning to recover due to wartime production. However, despite the war effort, the U.S. was facing a scarcity of metals, especially copper, which had been heavily used for military purposes. This scarcity led to a decision that would make the 1944 1-cent coin highly distinctive. Up until that point, the U.S. Mint had produced pennies primarily from copper. But during World War II, copper was being diverted to create ammunition and military supplies. As a result, the 1944 1-cent coin was minted using steel instead of copper. This decision was made to ensure the continuity of coin production while conserving copper for the war effort. The result was a one-year-only steel penny, which is the coin we're discussing today. Now, let's look at the design of the 1944 US 1-cent coin. On the obverse side, you'll find the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This portrait, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has been featured on US pennies since 1909. Lincoln's profile is surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," with the year of mintage, 1944, near the bottom. This powerful image of Lincoln reflects the nation's deep respect for its leader, who is considered one of the greatest U.S. presidents. On the reverse side, you'll see the familiar depiction of 2 wheat stalks, a design that graced the back of pennies from 1909 until 1958. The words, "United States of America," and "E pluribus unum," are also prominently featured, with the phrase, 1 cent, in the center. The wheat motif symbolizes the American agricultural spirit and the country's reliance on farming and industry to thrive. These details make the 1944 1-cent coin not only a piece of currency but also a historical artifact that tells the story of a nation at war and its perseverance through tough times. Although the steel pennies were initially produced in large numbers, the 1944 1-cent coin is still considered special today due to its unique material. The scarcity of these steel coins, combined with their historical significance, makes them highly attractive to collectors. However, it's not just any 1944 penny that has value. Condition plays a critical role in determining a coin's worth. Many of these coins saw heavy circulation, which means they are often found in worn or damaged states. But if you happen to own one that is in excellent condition, you may be holding onto a rare treasure. What truly sets the 1944 US 1-cent coin apart is its fascinating collector appeal. Over the years, collectors have been drawn to the coin's history, its unusual steel composition, and the rarity of well-preserved examples. During the years following World War II, the U.S. Mint returned to using copper for pennies, making the 1944 steel penny a one-year anomaly. This rarity is one of the primary factors that drive its value in the market today. Furthermore, the 1944 1-cent coin is not without its unique variants. While most 1944 pennies were made from steel, there are a few rare examples that were mistakenly minted with copper. These copper errors are among the most sought after by collectors and can fetch staggering prices. The copper versions of the 1944 penny are incredibly rare, making them a highly prized find for anyone lucky enough to come across one. The discovery of a copper 1944 penny is a momentous event for collectors, as it could mean a significant windfall. In terms of general value, the standard 1944 steel pennies are worth more than face value, but it's their condition that truly influences their price. A well-preserved coin that has been kept in mint state can be worth far more than a coin that has been circulated and shows signs of wear. The highest quality 1944 pennies, often graded as MS 65 or higher, can fetch impressive amounts at auction. A coin with a perfect grade, free from any scratches or marks, will attract serious bids from collectors eager to add a pristine piece to their collection. As we get closer to the big reveal, it's important to note that the value of a coin is not static. It fluctuates based on market conditions, demand, and the availability of similar pieces. In recent years, the price of rare coins like the 1944 1 cent has been on the rise, driven by the increasing interest in numismatics and the growing recognition of the historical importance of these coins. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the value of the 1944 US 1 cent coin. If you happen to possess one of these coins in uncirculated, mint condition, or perhaps even a rare copper-era penny, it could be worth as much as $66,000. That's right, $66,000 for a single 1944 penny. It's hard to believe that something so small could hold such enormous value, but that's the magic of rare coins. Whether it's the scarcity, the historical context, or the condition of the coin, the 1944 1 cent penny is a true treasure for collectors and investors alike. So, the next time you're going through an old jar of pennies or rummaging through your coin collection, take a moment to inspect any 1944 pennies you may find. If it's in excellent condition, or even better, if it's one of those rare copper errors, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Top 2, we're taking an in-depth look at a fascinating coin that has captured the attention of numismatists for decades, the United States 1 cent coin from 1957. This seemingly modest penny might be far more valuable than you think, and by the end of this video, you'll know why it's such an important piece of American history. If you've ever wondered how a simple 1 cent coin could possibly be worth tens of thousands of dollars, stay tuned as we unravel the mystery behind the 1957 penny. To understand the significance of the 1957 penny, it's important to look back at the history of the United States during that time. The year 1957 was a fascinating period in American history. It was the height of the post-World War II boom. The country was experiencing rapid growth, economic prosperity, and technological advancements. The 1950s were a time of great optimism, and the U.S. was solidifying its position as a global superpower. The nation had recently emerged victorious from the war, and its economy was thriving thanks to the demand for goods, services, and manufacturing. But despite this era of growth and prosperity, the world of coinage was undergoing its own transformation. The United States Mint was continuing to produce its iconic pennies, which were still made from a combination of copper and tin, in the years following World War II. But it was also a time when the American public was becoming increasingly aware of the coin's value, not only as currency but as a collector's item. Coin collecting was becoming a popular hobby, and people were beginning to look at coins not just as a means of exchange but as valuable artifacts that told the story of a nation. The 1957 1 cent coin is part of the Lincoln Cent series, which was introduced in 1909. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the obverse side of the coin features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design is one of the most iconic and recognizable in American coinage, symbolizing the country's reverence for Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his dedication to the preservation of the Union. The reverse side of the 1957 penny features a simple yet powerful design, a pair of wheat stalks framing the words, United States of America, with De Pluribus Unum above and 1 cent in the center. The wheat motif was used on U.S. pennies from 1909 until 1958, and it symbolizes the agricultural roots of the United States. Wheat was once a staple crop, and this design paid tribute to the hard-working farmers who helped shape the nation's economy. But the real story behind the 1957 penny lies in its unique characteristics and the circumstances surrounding its minting. In 1957, the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies using a blend of copper and tin. This was in stark contrast to some of the wartime years, such as 1943, when pennies were made of steel due to wartime copper shortages. By 1957, however, the mint had returned to its traditional copper composition, making the pennies of this year highly desirable to collectors. One of the key factors that makes the 1957 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting is its remarkable quality. Many coins from this period were produced in large numbers and circulated widely, leading to heavy wear and tear on most examples. However, if you happen to come across a 1957 penny that has been preserved in excellent condition, you may be holding on to a rare gem. Uncirculated coins, which show no signs of wear and are in mint condition, can be highly sought after by collectors and are often worth far more than their face value. The 1957 penny is also known for its distinctive die variety, which has made it even more attractive to collectors. Over the years, numismatists have discovered subtle variations in the design of the 1957 Lincoln cent, particularly in the lettering and the positioning of the details. These die varieties, although minor, can significantly increase the coin's value, as collectors are always on the lookout for rare variations to add to their collections. If you happen to find a 1957 penny with one of these die varieties, you could be holding onto a piece of history that is worth far more than you might expect. But the real appeal of the 1957 penny lies in its rarity and the demand for well-preserved examples. Even though millions of 1957 pennies were minted, very few have survived in uncirculated condition. As time has passed, the number of these high-quality coins available for sale has dwindled, making them increasingly valuable to collectors. When you combine this rarity with the coin's historical significance and the continued growth of the coin collecting market, it's easy to see why the 1957 penny has become such a prized possession. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1957 penny. While most 1957 pennies are worth only a small premium above face value, the ones in excellent condition, particularly those that are uncirculated or feature rare die varieties, can fetch much higher prices. The value of a coin is largely determined by its condition, rarity, and demand in the collector market, and the 1957 penny is no exception. If you happen to own a 1957 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, or if you come across one with a rare die variety, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than a few cents. In fact, depending on its quality and specific characteristics, a 1957 penny can be worth up to $60,000. That's right, $60,000 for a single penny. Whether it's a rare die variety, a perfectly preserved specimen, or just the right combination of factors that makes the coin stand out, the 1957 penny holds incredible value for collectors. So, the next time you're going through your coin collection or sifting through loose change, take a closer look at any 1957 pennies you may find. If it's in great condition or features one of the rare die varieties, you could be holding on to an extremely valuable piece of history. Top 3. We are going to take a fascinating journey into the past with one of the most captivating coins in U.S. history, the 1949 United States 1-cent coin. A coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but is actually a hidden gem in the world of numismatics. You may not have thought much of the 1949 penny, but stick with us, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is far more valuable than you might ever imagine. Let's start by setting the scene. The year 1949 was a pivotal time in American history. The world was still recovering from the aftermath of World War II, and the United States was entering the peak of its post-war economic boom. The country was beginning to experience a surge of prosperity and industrial growth that would continue throughout the 1950s. But despite this newfound wealth and optimism, the U.S. Mint was facing its own challenges, particularly in the production of coins. The wartime shortages of metals like copper and nickel had caused disruptions in coinage production during the previous decade, but by 1949, the Mint had managed to stabilize production and resume a more regular coinage schedule. During this period, the U.S. Mint was producing the familiar Lincoln cent, which had been in circulation since 1909. Designed by artist Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent has become one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, and it remains in use today in slightly altered forms. However, the 1949 Lincoln penny stands out in its own right. Understanding why the 1949 penny is so interesting requires a closer look at its design and the historical context in which it was produced. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This portrait has become synonymous with the Lincoln cent series and is one of the most recognized images in American numismatics. The portrait of Lincoln is accompanied by the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," with the year of mintage, 1949, found just below Lincoln's bust. The detailed rendering of Lincoln's face, which Brenner captured with a striking realism, conveys the respect the nation has for its beloved president, whose leadership during the Civil War preserved the Union and emancipated enslaved people. But the 1949 penny's most intriguing aspect lies on the reverse side of the coin, where you'll find the classic wheat design that graced U.S. pennies from 1909 to 1958. The reverse side features two stalks of wheat, with the words "United States of America" and "E pluribus unum" surrounding the phrase 1 cent in the center. The wheat symbolized the importance of agriculture to the United States, paying homage to the hard-working farmers who were the backbone of the American economy. The design, although simple, captured the essence of a country still deeply rooted in agricultural traditions, even as it was transitioning toward industrialization. The 1949 penny is, in many ways, a product of its time, a coin that represents both the continuing legacy of the U.S. Mint's iconic designs and the political and economic circumstances that shaped its creation. Although millions of 1949 pennies were minted and circulated, they were produced during a time when the country was still adjusting to the new realities of post-war life, and the coin carries with it a sense of nostalgia for that era. But what really makes the 1949 penny so special to collectors is the rarity of certain versions of the coin, particularly those in mint or near-mint condition. Most pennies from 1949, like many other coins from this era, were widely circulated, meaning that they saw significant wear and tear over the years. These coins may show signs of scratches, discoloration, and other marks that make them less desirable to collectors. However, finding a 1949 penny in uncirculated or near-mint condition is quite rare, and it is these coins that have the potential to command substantial value in the numismatic market. Another factor that contributes to the 1949 penny's collector appeal is the presence of certain rare die varieties. Over the years, collectors have discovered that some 1949 pennies have subtle differences in their design, small variations in the lettering, the positioning of elements, and other details. These variations, though seemingly minor, make certain examples of the 1949 penny even more desirable to collectors looking to complete their collections. Coins with unique die varieties often fetch much higher prices because they are seen as rarer and more valuable. One of the most notable die varieties from the 1949 penny is the S mintmark variety. In 1949, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at multiple locations, and pennies minted at the San Francisco Mint were marked with an S mintmark. These S mintmark pennies are often harder to find in good condition, making them especially valuable for collectors who specialize in coins from specific mint locations. As the demand for coins from particular mints grows, the value of the 1949 S penny can increase significantly, especially if it is in excellent condition. The condition of the coin is arguably the most important factor in determining its value. A 1949 penny in excellent or mint condition will always be worth more than a coin that has been heavily circulated. For collectors, the term mint state refers to a coin that has been preserved in pristine condition, with no visible signs of wear or damage. These coins are typically kept in protective cases and are often graded by professional coin grading services, which assess the coin's quality based on a scale from 1 to 70. Coins with a higher grade, such as MS 65 or higher, are especially sought after by collectors and investors alike. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value of the 1949 penny. While most of the coins from this year may be worth only a small premium above face value, those in exceptional condition can fetch much higher prices. If you have a 1949 penny that is in mint or near mint condition, you could be sitting on a rare treasure. And if you're lucky enough to have one of the rare die varieties or a S mintmark coin in perfect condition, your penny could be worth a whopping $57,000. Yes, you heard that right, $57,000 for a single 1949 penny, a staggering amount for a coin that was once worth only 1 cent. So, the next time you come across a 1949 penny in your change or dig through your collection, take a moment to inspect it closely. If it's in good condition or features one of those rare die varieties, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Top 4, we're going to uncover the fascinating story of the 1976 United States 1-cent coin, a piece of American history that is more valuable than you might think. As you hold this humble penny in your hand, you might not realize that it's much more than just a small piece of currency. It's a collector's treasure and an iconic symbol of a nation in a moment of celebration. So, stick with us as we dive into the details of this coin's history, design, rarity, and the huge value it could hold. Let's get started. To truly appreciate the significance of the 1976 penny, we need to take a quick trip back to the year itself. The United States was in the middle of celebrating a monumental anniversary, the nation's 200th birthday. In 1776, the Declaration of Independence had been signed, and now, 2 centuries later, Americans were reflecting on their past while looking toward the future. The 1976 celebrations, including grand parades, fireworks, and commemorations, were filled with national pride, and the U.S. Mint decided to mark the occasion by introducing special coin designs to celebrate the bicentennial. This year was unlike any other, and even a simple penny was part of the celebrations. The 1976 1-cent coin is part of the bicentennial series, a unique set of coins that includes changes in the designs of the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coins to commemorate the country's 200th year. These commemorative coins were designed to reflect the spirit of the American Revolution and the history of the United States, with an emphasis on liberty, independence, and national unity. While most people are familiar with the special bicentennial quarter that features a drum, a bell, and a star, the penny also received a notable design change in 1976. On the obverse of the 1976 1-cent coin, we find the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, as this coin is still part of the Lincoln cent series. The portrait of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, has been featured on U.S. pennies since 1909 and remains one of the most iconic images in American numismatics. Lincoln's face on the penny represents not only the man who preserved the Union during the Civil War but also a symbol of freedom, equality, and perseverance, but it's the reverse side of the 1976 penny that sets it apart from most other Lincoln cents. The reverse was modified in honor of the bicentennial, featuring a new design with the phrase, 200 Years of Freedom, prominently displayed. This inscription is accompanied by a depiction of the Liberty Bell, one of the most enduring symbols of the American Revolution. The bell, with its crack visible, serves as a reminder of the Declaration of Independence and the courage of those who fought for liberty and self-determination. The design not only reflects the historical significance of the moment but also serves as a patriotic tribute to the nation's founding ideals. The decision to feature the Liberty Bell on the reverse of the penny was part of a larger effort by the U.S. Mint to celebrate the country's bicentennial. As we know, the Liberty Bell is not just a symbol of freedom but also a symbol of unity, echoing the sound of independence and the values that the nation was built upon. This design change made the 1976 penny stand out as a special commemorative coin, one that is not only a part of U.S. currency but also a piece of the country's celebration of its own remarkable history. In terms of minting, the 1976 1-cent coin wasn't particularly rare at the time of its release. It was struck in large numbers across the 3 major U.S. Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The typical production of the coin was in copper-plated zinc, and millions of pennies were made, most of which circulated for decades as part of everyday transactions. However, over time, these coins became harder to find in pristine condition. Like most coins that have been in circulation for years, the 1976 pennies have suffered from wear and damage, which means that only a small number of them have survived in mint or near mint condition. This is where the appeal of the 1976 penny truly lies. While the coin was produced in high quantities, the vast majority of these coins have been used, worn down, and lost over the years. In fact, the real treasure for collectors is finding a 1976 penny that has been preserved in excellent condition, preferably uncirculated. Coins that have been kept in protective cases, away from the rigors of everyday use, are the ones that hold the most value. Collectors and investors alike are always on the lookout for these pristine examples, as they can fetch significantly higher prices compared to coins with significant wear and tear. Additionally, some collectors are specifically drawn to the 1976 1-cent coin because of its historical significance. The bicentennial design, along with its association with the national celebrations of 1976, has given this penny a unique place in American coinage. The special design and the events it represents make it a must-have for collectors interested in bicentennial-themed memorabilia. It's not just a penny, it's a piece of history that captures a monumental moment in the United States journey. However, there is one more important factor that can influence the value of the 1976 penny: the presence of a rare minting error. Over the years, a small number of 1976 pennies were produced with unique minting errors, such as misprints, off-center strikes, and double dies. These errors are highly prized by collectors because they are unique, one-of-a-kind pieces. If you're lucky enough to find a 1976 penny with one of these errors, you could be holding onto a coin that is worth far more than its face value. So, what makes the 1976 1-cent coin truly valuable in today's market? The most important factor is its condition. A 1976 penny in mint or near mint condition can be worth far more than its original face value. Even coins that are graded as uncirculated by professional grading services can fetch substantial sums at auction, especially if they are in perfect condition. But it doesn't stop there. Rare minting errors, die varieties, and coins with exceptional provenance can push the value even higher. Now, here's the exciting part, the moment you've all been waiting for. If you happen to have a 1976 penny that is in pristine, uncirculated condition or features a rare error or die variety, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $55,000. That's right, $55,000 for a single penny. While most 1976 pennies are worth just a few cents, those in excellent condition or with rare characteristics have the potential to fetch impressive sums. It's a reminder that even a humble coin, with the right combination of rarity and condition, can become a treasure worth far more than its face value. So, the next time you go through your coin collection or sift through loose change, make sure to take a closer look at any 1976 pennies you come across. If it's in great shape or shows signs of being a rare error coin, you might just have a piece of American history that's worth a small fortune. Top 5 and last unique penny. We are going to dive deep into the fascinating world of the 1978 United States 1-cent coin. On the surface, this might seem like just another penny from the late 20th century, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. We're going to explore its history, its design, its minting process, and most importantly, its value. By the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much this seemingly ordinary penny could actually be worth. To start, let's take a quick look at the historical context of 1978. The United States, in this period, was navigating through a time of change and growth. The 1970s were a transitional decade, with the country moving away from the turbulence of the 1960s and early 70s, which were marked by political upheaval, the Vietnam War, and social unrest. By the time 1978 rolled around, the country had entered a period of relative stability, although challenges like inflation and economic shifts were still on the horizon. It was a time when the nation was recovering and adjusting to new dynamics, which would shape the years to come. In the world of coinage, however, the U.S. Mint continued producing currency that reflected both tradition and modernity. The 1-cent coin, or penny, had already undergone several design changes over the years, but the 1978 penny remained largely unchanged from the design that had been in place since 1909. Yet, while the coin's basic design remained constant, there were still plenty of subtle details and historical significance wrapped up in this small piece of currency. The 1978 penny still featured the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which had been designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is one of the most revered figures in American history, and his image has graced the penny for over a century. On the obverse of the 1978 coin, you'll find Lincoln's face in profile, with the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," inscribed around the top, and the year of minting, 1978, just below Lincoln's bust. This portrait, which has become synonymous with U.S. currency, represents not just the man who preserved the Union during the Civil War, but also the enduring ideals of freedom and equality that the country was founded upon. On the reverse of the 1978 penny, we find the familiar wheat design, which had been used on U.S. pennies from 1909 until 1958. However, by 1978, the reverse design had been changed to a simpler, more modern depiction. Instead of the wheat stalks, the reverse side of the 1-cent coin now featured the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the American government and one of the nation's most iconic monuments. The memorial was chosen to honor the legacy of President Lincoln and his lasting impact on the nation. This new reverse design was introduced in 1959 and has remained on the penny ever since. The Lincoln Memorial design is a fitting tribute to Lincoln's legacy, and the details on the reverse side of the 1978 penny are striking. The image of the memorial is framed by the words "United States of America" at the top, and "E pluribus unum" and 1 cent at the bottom. The design emphasizes both the grandeur and the simplicity of American democracy, showcasing Lincoln's vision for a united nation and the ideals that continue to guide the country. Now that we've explored the design of the 1978 penny, let's take a moment to discuss its production and how the coin was minted. The U.S. Mint produced 1978 pennies in large quantities, with coins being struck at its major minting facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins were primarily made from a copper-plated zinc composition, with the penny weighing 2.5 grams and having a diameter of 19 millimeters. The standard mintage of the 1978 penny was in the billions, which means that these coins were widely circulated throughout the United States. Over the years, most of these pennies were used in everyday transactions, with many showing signs of wear and damage as a result. However, there's one important thing to note: while most of the 1978 pennies were made in large numbers and circulated widely, not all of them are the same. Some of these pennies were struck with minor variations that make them stand out in the eyes of collectors. These variations can be as small as a different die, an error in the minting process, or slight differences in the coin's composition. Collectors are always on the lookout for these unique examples, as they add an extra layer of rarity and value to the coin. One of the factors that makes the 1978 penny so interesting to collectors is the potential for finding coins in uncirculated or mint condition. A coin that has been well preserved, free from any damage or wear, is considered much more valuable than one that has been circulated extensively. A 1978 penny in pristine condition is a rare find, and as with any coin, the higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. Professional grading services assess the quality of a coin based on a scale from 1 to 70, with coins rated above 60 being considered in mint state. If you happen to find a 1978 penny that's been well taken care of, it could be worth much more than you might expect. Beyond condition, certain 1978 pennies are particularly prized by collectors for their rarity. For example, the 1978 penny, minted at the San Francisco Mint, is often considered more valuable than its counterparts from the Philadelphia and Denver mints. This is because the San Francisco Mint typically produced fewer pennies, and thus, fewer 1978 pennies were circulated. As a result, these coins are rarer and can fetch higher prices, especially if they are in excellent condition. Another factor to consider is the possibility of minting errors. Although minting errors are relatively rare, they can significantly increase the value of a coin. If you happen to find a 1978 penny with an error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or other unique variations, it could make your penny incredibly valuable. Error coins are often seen as one-of-a-kind items, and their scarcity can drive up demand among collectors, making them highly sought after in the market. So, after all of this, what's the value of the 1978 penny? While most 1978 pennies are worth just a small premium above face value, coins in exceptional condition can be worth much more. In particular, a 1978 penny in uncirculated or near mint condition could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on its quality and rarity. Some of the rarest varieties, including those with minting errors or special die varieties, can fetch even higher prices. The big reveal: if you happen to have a 1978 penny that is in pristine condition, or one of those rare die varieties, you could be holding onto a coin worth as much as $52,000. Yes, you heard that right, $52,000 for a single 1978 penny. While it's not every day that you find a coin like this, it's certainly worth taking a closer look at any 1978 pennies you come across. You never know, your next find could be worth a small fortune. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the fascinating world of the 1978 penny. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another exciting discovery. Happy collecting, and who knows, your next coin might just be worth more than you ever imagined.